Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing the Radeon RX 9060 XT 16GB GPU in Battlefield 6. This one is the XFX Swift Pro gaming version of the card, and it didn't take me like 10 times to say that. I'm also running it with the latest AMD drivers, and you can see that I'm not manually overclocking it. You can check out all of its specs here in Tech Power Up's GPU Z, and over on the left, I'm pairing it today with the i5 12600KF, overclocked to 5.1 GHz, and 32 GB of DDR5. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it, guys. We're getting 100-ish frames per second with the 9060 XT. You don't even know the settings because I didn't show it to you yet. So let's go over them, shall we? We're starting at the 1080p resolution, and I'm also going to test this one at 1440p and 4K. And we're using the high settings preset right here with FSR native AA. And this is FSR 4 in this game, so the upscaling will actually be super usable, especially at the higher resolutions like 4K. In the beta, I tested FSR performance at 4K resolution with this GPU, I believe, and I wasn't really impressed. You know, it was FSR 3 or FSR 2, so since the upscaling was really poor in visual fidelity in the beta, I really didn't recommend anyone to go play like at 4K resolution with FSR performance, for example, like I did with the 5060 Ti with DLSS 4 performance as well, because that GPU delivered around like 80 frames per second at 4K with high settings, DLSS performance, and it was looking very similar to 4K resolution natively because DLSS 4 looks great, of course. But now we have FSR 4 here in this one, which is looking amazing as well. So it's very close to DLSS, and it makes it possible for this GPU to provide a great experience even with a higher resolution monitor and with high settings. So the enemy team is just getting wrecked here, actually. I don't know what to do. I can't really go further than this, unfortunately. I'm just trying to push them a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Finally, they did something. It feels really stable. It feels really smooth. Obviously, there is no stuttering whatsoever. Oh, the grenade got us there. At least we got medics here. Okay, thanks, guys. What the heck are we supposed to do? Just chill out over here? You know what? Let's explore the rest of the map back there. Also, Jesus, that temperature on the GPU, I just noticed it. 39 degrees. This is all coming down as well as I say that. Oh, this is flying now. Minecraft. Nice. But the temperature is just absolutely crazy low on this XFX model, you know? Like, this is a really, really good cooler. It's a little bit aggressive in terms of fan curve, so it will be audible, probably over the case fans and CPU fans and so on. But it does a damn good job at keeping those temperatures in check. Anyway, that's probably enough of FSR native AA here. Let's try it with FSR quality. Alright, and I am really impressed by this right now. We gotta talk about that CPU. The 12600KF is keeping up like a champ. I think I tried it was the RTX 4070 back in the beta with the 12600KF, and this CPU was a little bit of a bottleneck, especially at 1080p low settings. Now, spoiler alert, I already tested 1080p low settings before I started recording for a little bit, and, oh boy, okay, it's all good. And it did phenomenally. It was getting like 180 up to 200 frames per second, still with 99% GPU utilization. That's just crazy. This is a mid-range i5 CPU. It's overclocked, of course. That's why it's able to push this GPU to the maximum. But it's a mid-ranger from a few years ago, like 3 generations or 4 generations ago. If you are on a budget, guys, and you want to pick up a 9060 XT or 5060 Ti 16GB, always buy the 16GB cards, by the way. These are way better than the 8GB models, although the 8GB version would give you the same FPS and the same experience here in this particular title. But yeah, these GPUs are good in terms of price and performance when it comes to new cards, and you can pair them with something like the 12600KF, which is a really inexpensive CPU these days. Battlefield 6 is actually a really intensive game when it comes to CPU. We're here in a 32 versus 32, so 64-player server, and it's not breaking a sweat. It's also only being utilized up to like 75-80% usage sometimes. Even more recent CPUs, you know, know, do struggle quite a bit with like 100% CPU utilization, which is not a bad thing, you know, but this one keeps it under control and yeah, delivers great performance. And the 9060 XT also delivers really good performance, as you can see. I mean, there's nothing to worry about here. It is absolutely flawless of an experience. FSR 4 looks great, even on quality at 1080p resolution. I wouldn't say it looks as good as the LSS 4, but it's still super usable. So if you want a little bit of an extra boost in FPS compared to native AA, you can enable that at 1080p and have that. Now, let's try a little bit of frame generation next over FSR native AA. And here we have it, guys. 200 plus frames per second. In terms of input lag, since we had like around 100, 120 FPS previously before enabling frame generation, we still have pretty low input lag, I would say. It's probably a little bit noticeable compared to the native resolution, or native, it's still native resolution, native frames results, but it's actually pretty decent. If you have like a 240 hertz monitor, you can get close to maxing it out here with frame generation over native AA. FG also makes it slightly softer in terms of visuals, so it's good that you run it over native AA as well. Oh my god, okay, so many of them. I don't know what's happening, guys. I have the frame limiters off and stuff like that, but every time I go to this map selection thingy, when you die, basically, the FPS are kept to 60 for some reason. It's really weird. Then I jump back into it, and it's 200s again. So I can't really keep on counting the FPS. It's annoying. It's a little bit annoying for benchmarking, but that's a minor thing. Big stutter there for some reason. I don't know what happened, but it was the first one of the day, so probably just a one-off, no problems. But as I was saying, ooh, these guys are actually good. They managed to get the sector. As I was saying, guys, the input lag is actually pretty good. The visuals are also good. It's almost the same as native AA. It's just a tad bit softer on top of it because of frame generation. And I wouldn't utilize quality FSR, for example, here, because if you use that frame generation on top of quality FSR, it gets just slightly blurrier. And then you're just having blur on top of blur because FSR quality also blurs things a little bit. Yeah, so that's not good. But this is actually very playable. Super high refresh rate. Look at that. Beautiful graphics still as well. Oh, we're still in the other sector. I didn't know that. We might actually die here. All right. Oh, we're so close, bro. Come on. This is so annoying. The fact that it goes down to 60 FPS, it just makes 1% lows impossible to gather, basically. Oh, man. Anyway, because I need to keep restarting everything, right? But anyway, yeah, this is solid of an experience. I would not utilize FG, though, because it just adds that little bit of input lag. But again, it has its use cases, and some people do like to play around with that, and that's totally fine, of course. So we're up to 1440p resolution now. I feel like I'm gonna die really soon, but I'm gonna start counting the FPS anyway, alright? So 90s, 80s, this is still a really enjoyable experience when it comes to the FPS and the resolution, of course. Like, 1440p is way higher of a resolution than 1080p. It doesn't sound like a huge bump. You go from 1080 to 1440, right? But it is actually 78% higher of a resolution than 1080p. So you can clearly tell the sharpness difference, the amount of detail difference here, which is much higher, of course, with 1440p resolution. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually the first time that I got to these objectives. So we have 3 objectives to defend in this map in Breakthrough at some point. That's all right. It's a little bit new. Usually it's 2 or 1, you know? But yeah, look at this. It's so smooth still. Zero stuttering, of course, as it's Battlefield and it's well optimized, so no problems in terms of stability. That was actually a thing in the beta. You usually had like one single spike every minute or two. It was annoying, but they completely fixed that in the full release of the game. That's super great to see, of course. Just shows you that the developers actually do care about the people playing their games. Boy. And the fact that the game runs well below system requirements is also amazing, you know? Alright, you know what? I probably need to switch to the engineer in this. Oh! See that? If I was an engineer, I would RPG that thing. It runs very smoothly indeed, guys. No problems. I feel like if you have a 14... That was a little stutter, though. If you have a 1440p monitor, you're all good with the 9060 XT, even at native resolution. There's no need to utilize like FSR 4 on quality, which was kind of a must if you play other games at high settings in 1440p resolution. In this one, you don't even need to use FSR on quality at 1440p if you don't want to. If you want to keep that native resolution look, it's going to look insane. It's going to be buttery smooth here, above 60 FPS all of the time. No problems. This map is also not the easiest one to run, all right? It's actually pretty intensive, all things considered. I'm not sure if it is the most intensive map in the game at the moment. I don't think it is, but it's close. It's like the second or third one, so quite nice to see these FPS once again. I thought it was going to perform a little bit slower. Now let's do FSR on quality, even though you don't really need it, because the FPS were already amazing on native AA. I mean, it looks very similar to the native resolution stuff since it's FSR 4. So it's super usable, and if you want a little bit of an extra boost in performance, what are you doing sleeping at this point in time, my friend? Come over here. Get up. Honestly, since FSR 4 is so good at this point in time, I think I would utilize this instead of the native resolution, because I can enjoy... I definitely do enjoy the extra smoothness provided by FSR quality. 100 plus FPS, 115 on average, is really good. There's someone inside of here, an enemy. Let's find that bastard. Where is he? Where? Two enemies. Two enemies. Three enemies inside of here. What the heck? Okay, there's a tank as well. Oh, I should have put mines down. No! No, they're both there. Three of them right there. Four right now. Oh, damn it. Let's disable FSR quality now. Go back to native AA and test it out at 4K resolution. Now, obviously, this isn't a card meant for 4K gaming, but let's try it out anyways. 4K high settings, FSR native AA right now, and look at this. The frame time graph is pretty weird. It's not a flat line like it used to be previously with higher frame rates, unfortunately, and you can definitely notice the choppiness right now. 40 FPS in Battlefield is playable. You can definitely have fun like this, and I've had fun like this, even with worse experiences and worse GPUs, like the GTX 1063GB model, for example. But after playing with 100 plus frames per second, it definitely feels choppy. It's not the best experience, obviously. And with FSR 4 on performance, which is my preferred way to play at 4K resolution with this upscaler, look at this. This is surprisingly close to native 4K resolution. That's the beauty of FSR 4. It gets really close to DLSS once again. In my opinion, if it doesn't start bugging out these grass leaves and stuff like that, it might actually look better in this title than DLSS 4, because DLSS 4 is still bugged for some reason. This grass, instead of being a little bit blurry like it is now with Performance FSR 4, which is totally acceptable in my opinion, it still got detail there, but it's not as sharp as native resolution, of course. It is super shimmery with DLSS. So this is better right now, alright? Which is amazing. It's one of those rare few scenarios where FSR 4 is actually better than DLSS 4. But it is. They definitely, the developers need to fix DLSS in this game. Now, this is obviously not as smooth as it was with 1440p resolution and 1080p resolution, but it doesn't need to be. I feel like if you have a 4K monitor, this makes this GPU, the 9060 XT, a pretty good budget 4K card. It's insane, as long as the games support FSR 4, again. And as long as they can actually run properly at 4K with it, because there are many titles, especially UE5 ones, that are terribly optimized, that will run very poorly even with FSR performance at 4K resolution with decent graphics options. But if your main game is Battlefield 6, this actually works extremely well. Oh, this is falling apart. Come on, let's go back to the over here. Yeah. So there are two enemies inside of this objective. Alright, we're fine. Okay, one down. Good job, guys. Good job. Well, let's pick these guys off over here. Come on. Come on, don't let them come. Don't let them come. God damn bastards. No. Just die, bro. Come on. What the heck? Oh, my goodness. That was just awful. Oh my god, there are so many of them here. And this little fire in the corner, so annoying. We're gonna be screwed. Sector lost. Yeah. I mean, I was still inside of the objective there, but didn't manage to do it alone, basically. Oh man. I was all alone there. Very, very hard indeed. But you know what's not hard? This game is not hard to run. What did you think about? Anyway, so next up, since this was actually a really playable and stable experience, I want to get out of here and try out the low settings preset whilst keeping the textures on high, because I want the game to still look good, you know, in terms of texture quality. And let's try this out without any anti-aliasing or upscaling either. And I'm gonna go down to 1080p again for a competitive experience. Let's go. And here we go. So, well, I already told you how many FPS I got at this. Why is my cursor around? What the? Why is this happening? I can't even shoot. That's because I went into Alt-R, because I wanted to see if, like, Radeon Chill was running, for example, capping our FPS in the menu to 60. But unfortunately, it didn't open, and now I can't shoot, and my mouse is there, and I press Alt-R. Oh, okay. Oh, now I'm shooting forever, basically. So I'll need to restart. What the hell is wrong with my mouse cursor? I can't move my mouse now. So I can't move my mouse just because I pressed Alt-R? What is going on? AMD, please fix your drivers. I'll need to restart the computer just because I pressed Alt-R. Alright guys, here we have it. So this is another map that's quite a bit more intensive apparently. As you can see, the CPU is still keeping up very well. My goodness. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. I want to chill inside of here. No, okay, the game didn't allow me to stay inside of there for some reason. That was so weird. Anyway, look at that. So 99% GPU utilization, 150 frames per second. In the previous map, we were getting a bit higher frames, you know, 180s, 170s, up to 200 sometimes. That's not to say that you won't get up to 200 here in this one either. Like, as you can see, if I look in this direction, we're getting 185. It's close to 200, right? But when we face the action head on, we're getting 150s and 97% GPU utilization. So it's still not a CPU bottleneck scenario, but honestly, I feel, once again, like the 12600KF is a really good match for this GPU right now. All right, so up here, things are less intensive unless you look in that direction. Come on. It's all good, though. We need to get rid of these guys over here. Okay, good stuff. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm not killing anyone today for some reason. Probably because I stopped playing this game for a little bit, actually. You know, I've stopped playing for a couple of days, actually, because I needed to fix some things in personal life, you know. And now I'm back and I'm just screwed. I'm not doing anything. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, at least I can show you the performance properly still, right? And yeah, 160, not that much better compared to what we saw on high. In some other titles, you'll see a bigger improvement. Okay. Oh, they're right there. Okay. Oh. All right, wait. We got this. Triple kill. We're doing this. That guy's dead. Okay, another one. All right. Let's do this. Come on. Should I reload this? No, definitely not. God damn it. Okay, why? I'm really low HP. Well, not really, but I am low HP. Come on. There we go. Wow, we're doing great right now. Gunslinger, my friends. Gunslinger. Also, that's an awesome song by Avenged Sevenfold. Gunslinger, go hear it. Okay, it's one of my favorites, actually. So, to no one's surprise, 1080p on this GPU runs pretty well on low settings. I expected maybe a little bit higher FPS, probably because this map is more intensive. We're not getting higher, but yeah, it's possible to have higher frames in other maps indeed. Let's stop it right there though. It's always going to be a buttery smooth high refresh rate experience with this card at the low settings. Of course in this title at 1080p resolution, as long as you have a CPU strong enough not to bottleneck it. Let's go up to 1440p though and see what it's capable of at this res. Wow, so we only dropped a few frames compared to 1080p resolution here on low settings. That is really good of an experience still, guys. I am definitely going to be able to enjoy the hell out of this on low. And honestly, again, if you are a competitive player, you not only want low settings for that competitive experience with higher FPS, you'll also want it because it has cleaner graphics. You remove all of those extra details from the picture, you remove the anti-aliasing, which softens things slightly, of course. And now we have a very crisp 1440p native resolution image with some jagged edges, of course. Like, look at that. That's a lot of jaggies there and aliasing, but who cares? This provides you the best and the cleanest visuals, in my opinion. And also, if you're wondering, FSR quality only gives you around 5 extra frames compared to what we're seeing here without AA, because the AA is actually intensive, the AA part of the upscaler. Let me just get rid of that drone over there. Okay, we got this. All right, what is going on here? What is going on here? Come on. Oh, yeah, there's a guy there. Okay, there we go. I got him. I'm being suppressed, though. I don't know where from. I'm gonna throw a grenade there. And another one there. This guy is very confused, for sure. Grenade and headshot at the same time. Beautiful. All right, yeah, guy over there. Let's go. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. 136 average so far. That is extremely good. Oh, there's another one. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Wait. Maybe we can actually get rid of the tank with the RPG here. Oh, no. It's running extremely smoothly, super responsive, good for like 144 Hz at 1440p. It's flawless, basically. So if you want to play competitively even with the 1440p monitor, you definitely can. Let's go up to 4K now in low settings. The fact that we're actually starting with 69 frames per second there is amazing. Alrighty, here we go. 4K resolution, guys. Native res, low settings is pushing 60 plus. It's probably going to drop though, so it's not too adequate. But yeah, we're pushing 60 FPS with the 9060 XT at 4K native resolution. That's pretty impressive in its own. We're seeing a little bit of a different trend right now with the recent games, right? Like Battlefield 6, the Arc Raiders, Black Ops 7 beta at least. These are all very well optimized. So the end of the year 2025 has optimized games. That's great because so far the only optimized games have been what? The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which was just a remaster, you know, very similar to the PS4 version. And then we also had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was beautifully optimized as well. But now we got these two back-to-back, or 3 back-to-back, that are performing pretty well, or will perform pretty well in the case of Black Ops 7. Anyway, I think that's probably about it. We're just getting wrecked here by the enemy team now. You know, it seems like life kind of goes around, right? We started this video in this same map, and we were just completely destroying the enemy team. And now we're in the opposite team. And the same thing is happening to us. Well, at least we can finish this with 69 FPS on average at 4K native resolution. That is quite good. If you're wondering about like FSR performance at this res, because since it does dip down from 60, I wouldn't really consider this. But if you have a 4K monitor, performance FSR looks insanely good, as you can see. Once again, even the vegetation, very crispy, very detailed. Faraway trees as well, all good. And now it's up into the 90s compared to like 70s and 60s sometimes with high settings and FSR quality. I just can't. We're in our base and we can't do anything. All right. Oh, boy. Anyway, that's been it for this one. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.